Welcome back to another video. Today, this engine locked up. The second engine in this truck locked up. So now, we're gonna take this engine out, notch the cross member, give it a factory oil pan, put everything back together, and hopefully drive it. Stay tuned. So, this is my 1997 GMC Sonoma, or an S10 for any of you people who don't care. It is a V8 swapped that I was doing. This thing used to be my daily, and I thought I'd put a V8 in it, and that's when everything just honestly went downhill. So, bought a Trans Adapt kit off of Summit. It just gave you like an alternate oil pan and an oil filter relocation kit. And it was affordable, but I got what I paid for because this is now the second time I've had an LS lock up in this truck. So, and you might ask, well, how do I know it's locked? Well, I took the plugs out, and I can't turn it over with a breaker bar. She's pretty seized. Come over here to this brand new STP oil filter, just to see if I could find any material inside of it, if my fingers would work. Let's see, focus. Yeah, bone dry. Not an ounce. That's just some WD-40 I put on this to like make it come on and off easier, but no oil. So I fired it up, and I'll tell you what, this thing sounded insane. I'll put a video right now. So as you can hear, it sounded strong, it fired, it sounded very healthy, and then I came out the next morning to try and start it up again, and it locked up. So believe it or not, motors tend to like oil, and I guess the pump isn't working, the sump isn't working. I've been through so many different I's and T's, crossing and dotting, and it happened again. So time to pull this motor, and we're gonna notch the cross member and use a factory pan, because I think the real problem is this kit. I think the kit's parts aren't right, or I'm not doing right something. That's the problem. So we're gonna eliminate that problem, and hopefully for the third time, have a running and driving truck. And yes, not kidding when I say this is the second time. I'll show you my graveyard of LSs that have gone into this truck. But until then, let's get to work and start pulling her apart. All right, now we'll check out my engine version 1. As you can see, it's living its life now as a boat anchor. So yeah, if you really like to lock up LS engines, buy this kit. All right, so I got the front accessory drive off. This is gonna have to stay here. So this is a stock accessory drive for a 5.3. However, to work with the factory steering box, you have to have this pulley. I don't have a part number. However, if you go onto an LS forum, that's where I found the pulley part number. It's like a $30 pulley, but it is made of plastic. So press that on, and that will bolt right up. You don't have to change the truck accessory drive, which is what I wanted to do anyway. So this, just gonna get it pushed off to the side, and we're gonna go ahead and undo all of the harness. Well, it's amazing how months of work takes half the time when it comes apart. Putting it back together, though, is a different story. Anyway, we're going to have to relieve the pressure on the fuel rail, finish pulling the rest of the harness, and then we can get this manifold off, take the headers off, and then start disconnecting it from the trans. Fun, fun. Manifold's off. The last few little things that I couldn't reach, like the oil pressure sending unit, cam and crank sensor starter, that's kind of stuff we're going to handle the next. We're going to get going. So we're going to do the headers on each side, disconnect the starter, and then unbolt the trans and the converter, engine mounts, and we should be ready to pull. Part of me wants to take off the valley cover and see if I totally just, ate my $300 Texas Speed cam, but maybe ignorance is bliss, and maybe it's okay. I mean, it was only 24 seconds without oil. I mean, I hope it isn't terrible. I mean, it probably is. It's probably smoked. Oh. And I know I'll probably hear this, so for all the non-believers, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. Yep, it has oil in it. Can it focus? It has very nice golden brown oil. So, manifold is off. Both of the headers are off. This one has to stay just because of how the steering shaft is. But I know people are going to say this too. There are no spark plugs in this motor at all right now. So we got no water pump, we got nothing holding back this engine. So if it was just vapor locked, we're gonna find out shortly. I'm gonna try and spin it over with this big old breaker bar real quick. Motor's not moving, and that's a lot. Yep, locked up nice and tight. All right, so we're gonna call it a day. Got a lot done. Pretty much now we have to unbolt the trans bell housing from the block, pull this boat anchor out, and put a new one in. We are gonna have to notch the cross member, so before I pull it, I want to see if I have to make any extra measurements or cuts. As long as the motor's here and it's rigid and stable, I want to make sure something that I need to do. Otherwise, next time we're going to be pulling this out, and until then, see you then. Thanks for watching.